Morning, everybody. Brian Gibbs here. Let's talk about stuff today. We're going to talk about how to use AI for audience engagement. I'm doing a few days series, 5-day series on using AI for your professional speaking business. Now, last weekend I had the opportunity to go to a workshop called Sticker Shock here in San Antonio. And it just inspired me to go over how to use AI in your speaking business because AI can honestly be used for any type of business that you do. And regardless of the type of business you're in, whether or not you ever speak from the stage, it is important to learn how to actually talk about what you do in an engaging way that helps your audience. I'm sure you would agree with that. Yeah. Yes, I'm sure. In fact, I'm just going to say, yes, you would agree with that. So let's go over here. Let's jump on to ChatGPT. Let's do a little bit of shuffling around. Whoops. We're going to move this over to here and get into this show, shall we? Of course, why not? So, like I said, today we're going to talk about how to get AI to be engaging for your clients, for your audience in a live event. So, let's get into this. Very first thing, and I always tell people, let's start off with figuring out who your avatar is. Let's do some demographic analyzing, if we shall. So over here on my notes, I've got how AI can analyze demographic data, social media trends, and past engagement metrics. So let's just pretend. Let's pretend we own a plumbing company. I can spell, in San Antonio. I work primarily with single family residents. Spell the right way. I am doing an event that explains why they need to check on their plumbing, why they need to regularly check on their plumbing. Help me figure out this. I'm just going to copy and paste. All right. So we own a plumbing company in San Antonio. I work primarily with single family residents. I'm doing an event that explains why they need to regularly check on their plumbing. Help me figure out the demographic data, social media trends, and past engagement metrics. So let's see here. Demographic data for San Antonio and single family homeowners. The average age is between 35 and 54. Median household income is around 53,000 up to 75. Home ownership, 53% of homes in San Antonio are owner occupied. They've got kids, or they're empty nesters, of course. Social media trends, Facebook. This is a key platform for homeowners. Okay, cool. Instagram, YouTube, Nextdoor. I would not have thought of Nextdoor. Past engagement metrics. Facebook, if you have past posts, I'm going to ignore that part because I have no data on that. But let's do this. Let's use this analysis. Use this information to understand audience preferences, pain points, and interests. Because when you're doing a presentation, you want to hit on the pain points. You want to hit on their interests. You want them engaged. Pain points help you sell from the stage. So if you can hit those pain points, you can offer a solution to resolve those pain points and sell from the stage. Kind of an important lesson from Dan Kennedy. And if you don't know who Dan Kennedy is, go check out his No BS books. He's got something on everything. So, using the demographic data, social media trends, and past engagement metrics, here's how you can understand your audience's preferences, pain points, and interests for your plumbing event. Audience preferences, proactive homeowners. Your audience consists primarily of responsible homeowners who want to maintain their property value. They likely prefer educational content. Awesome, good to know. That helps them prevent costly repairs. These homeowners value practical, easy to follow advice. Homeowners in San Antonio may prefer locally relevant advice. Okay, cool. So then we move into pain points, unexpected costs, damage to property, plumbing failures. I have had this. Plumbing failures can cause water damage that leads to expensive repairs, mold, and structural issues. Highlight how proactive maintenance can protect their homes and keep their family safe. Inconvenience, interests, DIY, and home maintenance. Many homeowners take pride in maintaining their property. Okay, cool. So we've got all of this information. Let's go. Messaging ideas for the event. Prevent the flood before it happens. So these are marketing things that you can start plugging into your messaging. Let's go to the next thing, and let's do personalized content creation. Let's leverage AI to generate tailored speeches. Let's do this now. With this information, I'm going to just do a quick copy and paste to get rid of a word. Now, with this information, generate tailored speech outlines and content suggestions. Now, I love it when ChatGPT does this. It'll actually give two different responses. You can pick and choose whichever one you like. And if you've got your memory set up, it generally will figure out what your preferences are and start giving those types of responses consistently. So what I'm liking so far about the second one is it starts with a hook. It starts to tell you, hey, here's doing this. Now, over on the other side, it says start with the relatable story. Why are you doing that? Well, you want to get that hook, that relatable story going so homeowners can be drawn into your presentation so they understand, they can relate, and you can relate to them. They go, you know what? That's me. I get it. You're talking to me. Okay. So on speech number 1, it says, imagine waking up one morning to find your entire kitchen flooded, all because of a small, unnoticed plumbing issue. It's every homeowner's nightmare, right? But what if I told you that with regular checkups, well, I'm not reading specifically, you can prevent this? Awesome. So several years ago, I changed out a faucet in my kitchen. I did I've done plumbing before. It's pretty basic to change a faucet, but somehow I didn't get one of the clamps clamped all the way. And then I was in Vegas for 2 weeks. And what did I come back to? I was like, Holy cow. Now, this was July in Texas. And if you know anything about July in Texas, it's hot and humid. And when you've got water all over your floor for 2 weeks, imagine the mold and the damage that was done to the floor. So thankfully, I've got insurance and they covered all that. But the inconvenient side of it, I had to basically have my entire kitchen torn out, the flooring torn out, subfloor torn out, all of that. So had I double checked or had somebody professionally take a look at it, all of that could have been avoided. It wouldn't have been a problem. So here are some key points why regular plumbing checks are crucial. Explain how small issues like leaks, clogged pipes, or faulty water heaters can snowball into major problems. Common plumbing problems you can prevent. Things like pipe corrosion, water pressure problems, undetected leaks. So, and then it goes down into the conclusion. On the other side, we've got our hook. We've got why we're here, so it's telling you, hey, this is what we're going to talk about. Then it goes into sections, plumbing basics, the cost of ignoring plumbing issues. You know what? I actually already like number 2 a little better because it's giving some of that background. So I'm going to go with number 2. Now, granted, this one's deeper. Let's see. Protect your home. So this is giving Facebook event post, Instagram post, Nextdoor post, which is pretty cool. Let's do that site instead. Even giving you an email campaign. Love that. So if you've got an email list, you can actually send out this email to your list saying, hey, I've got an event coming up. Here's why you want to do this, and roll with it. So let's see. Now let's do this. Let's talk about the language you're going to use. So if you know your audience, as we do, because up here we did some demographic analysis. So we know, they're proactive homeowners and they like practical information. So using audience preferences, give me language, examples, and the tone to match my audience expectations. Here's how to match your language, examples, and tone to match or to meet your audience preferences. So tone, friendly, reassuring, and knowledgeable. Keywords, prevent, avoid, protect, save money. Example, avoid jargon. This is really key. I don't care what type of business you're in. Don't use technical terms. They don't do what you want them to do. They're not making you actually sound smarter. They're making your audience feel dumber. Okay, so talk to them in normal, regular language like we all speak, rather than, angle joints and, conduit and whatever. I mean, I'm making up words of things that I know from I don't know what industries, but whatever. See, and that's kind of the point. I don't know the right terminology. So if I was a plumber doing this plumbing event, I would not use plumbing terminology. I would, hey, there's that pipe that goes from the street to your house. We all know that's a main line, but whatever. That's not the best way to reference it. So examples, relatable and real life scenarios. So give some examples based on where your audience is. If you've ever been to a concert, hey, Los Angeles, what's going on, San Antonio? Let me hear you, Austin, Seattle. Tell me, whatever, make some noise. I don't know. But, they relate to who their audience is. And it's always funny when they forget what town they're in. If you've ever been to one of those shows, you know what I'm talking about. I was at one once where I was in Washington, and the MC said, hey, San Francisco, if you know anything about Seattle and the Seattle Seahawks, the San Francisco 49ers are like arch rivals, and he definitely got the response that would have normally come. So we've got some examples relatable in real life scenarios. Picture this: you're heading out the door for a vacation when you notice a small puddle under your kitchen sink. It's easy to ignore, right? Hey, that's almost like it was writing for me. But that little leak could turn into a burst pipe while you're away, ruining your floors and creating a massive repair bill. By catching it early with a quick regular check, you can avoid a disaster like that. Okay, it's got local climate example. And then it goes into the tone: be conversational, helpful, and reassuring. And it's got these different things. And then you've got call to action, which is awesome. After today's event, I want you to feel confident knowing you can handle the basic checks. And if anything looks off, we're always here to help before it turns into a bigger issue. Language: regular plumbing checks are just like getting your car's oil changed. Okay, there's a good analogy. So I hope you're seeing how all of this can help your speaking business from the stage, and gives you some value. Now, the last thing I want to do is go with this. If you've got a way to get real time feedback from your audience, if you've got an app on their phone, and if you don't have an app, you should get one. Everybody should have some sort of an app, and you could do this in an event like this. You could have people download your app, QR code on the screen. They can download your app and answer questions live during your event. What does that do? That gives you information live during your event, and you can adjust your content. Give me examples of adjusting content delivery based on real-time feedback. So this is going into, if your audience looks confused or unengaged, simplify or rephrase a concept. This is going in a different direction than where I was going, but that's okay, because sometimes you don't have time to get them to download an app. But if you recognize what your audience is doing, make those adjustments. You as the professional can make those micro adjustments throughout your talk. So that's what I would encourage doing. And that's about it for today. I mean, this has been holy cow, almost 18 minutes. I wasn't even looking at the time, but hopefully I was giving you some good value today on how to work with your content, with your information, with your expertise, and tying the tools of AI into creating that presentation or speech. I was actually using Claude a lot for this as I was structuring this morning. And if you're not familiar with Claude, it's Claude.ai. And a lot of times it actually gives better responses than ChatGPT. Again, like I said before, I use ChatGPT kind of like just the generic platform, even though it's done some major updates in the last week. But hey, I'm Brian Gibbs. I do own a company. It's a coaching company that works with small businesses. I work with companies all over the world, helping them figure out how to use AI in their business, whether that's marketing, whether that's content creation, image creation, data management, data analysis, inventory, all of that stuff. I can work with you, show you how you can use AI to do that. So hey, do me a favor, click on the links in the description. Go download the ebook, which has some amazingly good prompts. And if you want, we can set up a time to talk. But in the meantime,